Welcome back, welcome back. We have with us in the studio Bill Ray Lewis, and Bill has been a fixture in this community for a very long time. We just found out his age, and if you want to know how old he is, you can ask him personally. I'm not going to tell you how old he is.
Reveal that.
But welcome to the show, Bill.
Thank you very much. And I am 85.
Well, good.
Okay.
Well, you
So
should
he
be
is
proud of
mine
that.
As
today.
of August the 17th.
Okay.
And you're in good shape.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're good shape.
Pretty good shape.
One thing
Pretty good shape.
iconic about Bill, he always wears shorts. Do you wear shorts?
As soon as
the winter?
it gets summertime, I'm in shorts.
Yeah,
I don't have long pants on like you all are
Yeah.
wearing
Yeah.
until about
well,
15th of
this show
October,
would have
maybe.
to cancel if I wore shorts.
I understand.
Well, we want to talk a little bit about the freedom of information, and that's part of the organization you're with. Is that your flagship projects that you
Yes,
work with?
Yes.
Yeah.
Back about, I think it was 2010, we started a group here in Boone County called the Transparency in Government Group of Boone County. About that time, the term transparency in government started to become more in the vogue. And being a public school administrator for 47 years, transparency to me has always been very important. Being able to let the public know what you're doing and how the taxpayer dollars that they provide are being spent.
Explain why it's important to be transparent. I mean, as a private individual, there's some things I want to keep private.
Yes.
Sure.
But
Yes.
if I'm an elected official or I'm working for the community, why is that important to be
kinda give up
transparent?
that.
Yeah.
Yes, I think the key issue is the expense of public dollars. The public has a right to know how those dollars are being spent and why they're being spent and to whom they're being given. I think that's the critical thing right there.
And I think more importantly is if you don't have an answer or a legitimate answer or a transparent answer, then that becomes more, what's the word? It becomes a little chaotic.
We become very suspicious.
Yeah,
Our members do.
suspicious, yeah.
We become very suspicious if a public official is reluctant to divulge to us. Now, there are certain things that you cannot gain access to under the Freedom of Information Act, such as maybe birth records or divorce records. Sometimes, some of those things.
And health records, probably.
Health records,
Yeah.
Social
Right.
Security numbers, and things like that. But and that's good. But it's the transparency thing pretty well evolves, I think, around the expense of taxpayer dollars. That it's the public's right to know how those dollars are being spent.
Yeah.
And so that's been very important to us.
Yeah. And there's a couple things that are going on in the community right now where your organization is involved. And one is with the Chamber of Commerce about money that they're getting from the city.
Yes.
And what raised your eyebrows about this, about that? What happened to make you want to dig a little deeper into that?
We've been told, our group, and our group is a small group of people, but they're very interested in this FOI, this Freedom of Information Act law. One of them had contacted us and said that in the newspaper there was a part of the county budget where $20,000 of county money had been donated to or made available to the Chamber of Commerce. So we got to looking into that.
Now this is county money.
This
it's
is
not city money.
county
It's
money, and that was in the county money.
Oh, okay.
So we got busy. We also heard that maybe the city was also spending tens of thousands of dollars and giving those dollars for the chamber to use. So we got busy, and one of our members wrote an attorney general's from the attorney general's office, and as directed by the attorney generals and how they do things, wrote an FOIA request. And from that request, we found out that tens of thousands of dollars looked like were being spent from the county and from the city. I think in tabulating all of this, we found out that around almost $40,000 had been spent since '09 by the county about $140,000 had been given for the use of the Chamber of Commerce from the city. So that sent up sort of a red flag to us.
Was the money designated for certain things, or was
That's
it
what
just?
that's what we've not been able to find out.
Oh, okay.
That we were told certain things, but then we asked for a little bit deeper going into that
To confirm that,
to
I
give
guess,
us
yeah.
receipts. Yes, to give us receipts, documentation, and as yet we've not received that.
Okay.
So that always sends up a red flag to people like us who pay attention to what the law says and what the governmental official should provide us, or in this case, a non-governmental official.
And all of this is under the umbrella of the Freedom of Information Act, so you're not really doing anything outside of what you're not supposed to be doing.
No, no.
And are there guidelines for the FOI?
The little book that I have here in my hand is made available, and I would like to express to all the citizens of Arkansas that copies of this are free.
Okay.
You can get copies of this from the Attorney General's office. On the front page of this, it shows that the Governor's office will make available copies of this. Arkansas Press Association, Attorney General's office. I buy about 500, a box of about 500 of these, or have them sent to me rather, and they're all free. They send them
Okay.
postage paid, everything. It's a great little publication.
Okay. Well, we'll have some here in the station if people want to come by and pick one up.
And I would be most happy if anybody
these-
wanted to call me about
Yeah.
any of this. I'd be happy to talk to them.
So this is a guideline on if you have a question about wanting to do exactly what you're doing, does your group kind of offer guidance?
Yes, yes.
And
Free of charge, free of charge.
Is-
We'll go anywhere in Arkansas to help a group get started
Okay.
in investigating and learning the FOIA, or Freedom of Information Act.
Well, how many groups are like yours?
We've got
in
about
Arkansas?
9 now. We go all the
Okay.
way from Jonesboro to Conway, Hot Springs, Fort Smith, Bella Vista, Gravette, and we've got a lot of people really now interested in this.
Yeah.
Our goal is really to have one of these sessions, a little chapter in every county.
In every county, yeah.
And it takes a special person, I think, to do this type of thing, because you're going to make some people angry.
Yeah, sure.
You're going to make some people
Sure you
angry
are.
if you start asking the right questions. You really
Yeah.
are. We found that true.
Well, I think that if and this is my opinion, if I were taking money from anyone, I think that and was taking money for a certain specific reason, I should be a good steward of that money and
Yes.
keep records.
Right.
Yes. There is a feeling among, I think, in Arkansas, and this may be in other states, and by the way, every state has a comparable Freedom of Information Act. The federal government even has one. There is a sort of a feeling among some of the nonprofits, the nonprofit agencies in Arkansas, that they don't have to abide by this law because they're a nonprofit. If they get federal, state, local tax dollars, and they meet a public purpose, and they're intertwined with a governmental agency, then they have to meet this.
Okay.
Only for the taxpayer dollars they receive, not for their own private funds.
Right, right.
It's none of our
And
business.
That's
None of
none of your business,
Yeah,
right?
none of our business how they spend their taxpayer
But
funds.
no one really should be mad
Yeah.
if you follow the guidelines
Yes.
and ask pertinent questions. You're
We're
not going to ask personal damning questions of a person's personal life or anything like
No,
that.
we're a non-political group. You know, we've got some independents and some Democrats and Republicans in our group. But we want everybody to follow the law. And any citizen who will get a copy of this is the Attorney General over and over again, and other people in the state government have listed this little law as the people's law.
Yeah.
To me, it's one of the best laws I think a citizen can learn about and know about and implement.
Yeah.
That's
Like
why
the-
it's
kind of like
been-
the Constitution. It gives
Yes,
us inalienable
yes.
rights to
right.
ask for the truth.
This little booklet has a lot of questions in it that anybody, very easy to read. And most of them, if you'll look through some of it, most of those questions and the answers are backed by Attorney General's opinions. And those are very, very The Attorney General has basically told us, if you get into a situation where your complaint or whatever matches an Attorney General's opinion, if there's a lawsuit, you're going to win 99% of the time.
I bet.
The judges and juries are very reluctant to go against an Attorney General's opinion.
Yeah. So where are we now with the thing with the Chamber of Commerce? That's not resolved yet.
Not resolved. We
Okay.
we still have filed, I think, 4 FOI requests, and none of them have been answered properly.
Okay. So
So-
what happens when
So,
there's no
yeah, what does
answer?
that
What do you
mean?
do then?
So we have probably 2 options. Would be do nothing, or file a lawsuit,
Okay.
and that's on the burner right now to some degree.
Okay.
So and that's unfortunate,
Yeah.
because if the people who should respond, or the person who should respond, would respond, then this would all be,
Yeah.
hunky dory, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we feel the public has a right to know how these dollars are being spent,
Well.
and not just a certain amount. We want to know to whom were those dollars spent. We want to see it in writing.
Yeah.
We want to see documentation.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the main reasons I wanted to do this segment is to expose to everyone that they have an option, they
Yes.
have a venue, and they
Yes.
have a contact person that if they ever get in this situation, that there's a path that they can follow.
Very seldom does a week go by that we don't have somebody call us, one of our members or myself. And I'd be certainly happy to let you know what my telephone number is if they
Well,
want.
we've got your telephone
Good deal.
number
If they
under your request.
If they
You
want
said
to
it was
call
okay.
us,
Yeah,
we'd be happy to help them.
and it will be on the screen
right there.
right there,
Good, good.
and it'll be at the end of the show if you don't have time to write it
Excellent.
down. That's Bill Lewis's phone number.
We're very passionate about this. Only a few attorneys in Arkansas we have found really have a deep, abiding interest in this. It's kind of a very specific thing. It's
Okay.
like, criminal law or corporate law or whatever, family law.
When you say interested, they specialize in
Yes,
FOI.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
And we feel that here, our local group and the other 8 or 9 groups that we have, we also specialize. We don't deal much with any other law, just this one here.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that a lot of us just don't question anything. You know what I mean?
And yes, and a perfect statement. And that's
Yep.
that's the problem, I think, here, in not only locally but statewide and federally.
Sure.
We don't question enough.
Yeah.
We
don't
trust
want to
and
make
just-
waves.
Yeah.
We
And
don't
but
want to make anybody mad.
But as an American and living in really the only country that has the freedoms that we do,
Yeah.
we should be asking a lot more
Yes,
questions
yes.
and standing up
Yes.
for what is ours.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
very much
yeah,
so.
Yeah.
Very well said. Very well
Yeah.
said. You'd make a good
Well,
politician.
Well, I may go into it in my next career. Bill,
Your
thanks
next
so
one.
much for being here.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Good to be here.
Bill's information is at the end of the show. I encourage people to reach out. Bill's a great conversationalist. He could talk to you for hours, I'm sure.
Would
And
like
you've
to.
got
Would
great
like to.
stories. Got great stories. And if you're interested in having your own little handbook of the Freedom of Information Act from Arkansas, state of Arkansas, we have a few at the station. If you want one, Bill has them also. Is there any other place in town that you can get these free?
Not that I know of, but
Okay.
Again, on the front page, Governor's office, we get most of ours from the Attorney General's office.
Are these printed online somewhere or?
If you'll look, and I'm glad you said that,
Yeah.
Dan, because if the viewers of the program would watch and go on internet
Okay.
to arctig.com, we have a website.
TIG?
ARKTIGG.com.
TIGG.
Okay.
Okay.
TIGG. That means Transparency in Government Group.
Okay.
Our 7 or 8 groups have formed into an Arkansas Transparency in Government Group, and we have a website that also includes
Oh, okay.
this,
Okay.
as well as that thick Bible there, what I call it. That has
Oh, this is.
everything that
This
is
is-
anything in terms of FOI in Arkansas.
Awesome. Very good. Very good. Bill, it was a pleasure
Thank
for you to
you.
be here today.
Thank you
Nice
very
to
much.
Very
Thank you.
informative, and you've scratched my brain. It's scratched my brain. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much.
I've always thought he was very smart.
You've
He's
thought
brilliant.
that, but now you've come to the conclusion that I'm not very. So, Bill, thanks so much.
Thank you very much. I
Thank you.
appreciate that.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we have with us in the studio, we have a pet of the week. And what
We
was
do.
what was the pet's name?
Darby?
Darby. Wanda and Darby are here. Stay with us.